Hi, welcome back to Canvas and Pixels by Next Layers. In this lesson, I'll be talking about drawing, parts, and a few other things. If you are ready, let's get into it. Welcome back. For me to demonstrate some of the things I wanted to talk about in this lesson, I think I'll prefer to open a new document. I just go to File, say New Document, and then I'll just say okay. InDesign has ability to do some basic drawings. These are not some of the things I would want to do in InDesign generally. If I want to do complex drawing, I'll use a specific software that is truly meant for drawing, something like Adobe Illustrator. Could use Corel Draw, could use Zara, any other vector environment software. But InDesign could do a few drawings. For example, I will start with the basic ones. You could do square and rectangle. This is rectangle and square tool. If you want a perfect square, you hold down your shift and then you click and drag. But if it's a rectangle, you just click and drag until you create a shape that best works for you. Let me clear this. Design could do, if I click on this tiny arrow, click down and drag, you could see Ellipse and Polygon Tool. So let me just release it on Ellipse Tool. Ellipse Tool helps you to create both circle and ellipse. If you want to create a perfect circle, you hold down your shift and drag until you are okay with your desired circle size. If I want an ellipse, I don't need to hold down my control. I'll just click and then create the kind of ellipse I want. If I want a polygon tool, I'll come to this same place. I'll click down that tiny arrow and then make sure that my mouse moves to polygon tool before I release. And then I click again to create a perfect polygon. Hold down your shift and then drag. All right. So, but there are other things that InDesign can do. One of the other things you could draw with Adobe InDesign is a vertical and horizontal line. You could also draw a line at a particular angle of your desired choice. To draw vertical or horizontal line, you click on this line tool and hold down your shift. If you want vertical, clean, straight line. If you want it to be horizontal, hold down your shift and drag. Even if you are at a different angle, it will help you snap to either vertical or horizontal, and the line will be clean, straight line. The other thing you could do with this tool is that you could draw a line at a 45 degrees angle, hold down your shift and drag either that way or this way. Once you hold down your shift, you have a clean line. I hope you are following. Now, to make it more interesting, I wanted to talk about the pen tool, like the pen tool you have in other software like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. The pen tool can help you draw interesting shapes. Let's just explore. So, this is the pen tool. There are other options. Every time you see this tiny arrow, it tells you there are other options. So if I click on this tiny arrow, let's just see. All right, you have pen tool, add anchor, delete anchor, convert, direction point. You have all that, but let me just focus on the first one, pen tool. You can draw straight line with it too, or any form of shape. I will hold down my control and space bar, then just drag out. I wanted to zoom so that we can see it better. And then use the pen tool to just click, move to the next point, click. Now this is not click and drag. I said click, and then you release your click, you move to where you want, like so. You could do things like this. All right. And as the rule always says, I always say, once you are done with any other tool, go back to your pointer or selection tool. But in this case, what we have just done is to do straight line. How about doing something like this? I click. Okay, so let me get to this tool, move this one away, and then go back to my pen tool again. I wanted to show you something else. You click the first time. Now the second time when you click, you hold it down and make a bend. You click, hold it down, make a bend, click, hold it down, make a bend, make a bend. I mean, you could continue like that to form any shape. Now, don't forget that I'm not trying to draw here. I'm just creating anything. All right. And I'm just trying to show you what is possible with Adobe InDesign. Now, don't forget that you can increase the outline color. I mean, yes, you can change the outline color. You can change the thickness to, I'll click OK. You could do all that. I wanted to show you something that is even more interesting. Control minus or Command minus. If you come to Object menu, there are things called parts, all this. I want to show you some of the things they could do. If I click on this one and I go to Object Part, I could ask it to help me join the part. Just watch when I say join part. Did you see? He closed it. And once it's closed, see what I can do. I can color it. Because it wasn't closed before, if I tell it to color, it will not color. The other thing you could also do is that you could, that is like a lazy method. Use this portion to convert your selected drawing into a shape. So let's assume I want to convert the above into, say, rectangle. Did you see that? I could say object and say convert it to triangle. That way I don't have to draw. Look, I could convert this guy to a triangle, for example. I come to object and say, convert it to a triangle for me, or let's say polygon. That's it. I hope we're following. There is another thing that is a bit interesting I also wanted to show that we could do with this tool. All right. So I'll just switch to, our regular file that I'll be using to work. I wanted to show you something very interesting. I will zoom. You press your Z, on the keyboard. It gives you zoom tool then. You just drag on the area where you want to zoom. I want to change this, okay, high quality, and then come back. So if I select this, let me select this text frame. Just watch what I wanted to do with this pen tool. Now, I will try and move to the line, and then if you look closely, you could see like a plus sign at the bottom of that pen tool. I will click and I can do something like this. Now, did you notice that it has changed the flow of the text, even though it's not looking good at the top, but it has changed the flow of the text, and then you could exploit, I think I could do more. Just change, and then once it shows that plus, I could, in case this works for you, I don't use it anyway. All right, so let's proceed. Let me also show you something that I really like about InDesign. You could do something like a corner round. Let me focus on this portion, and then we can use it to do what we wanted to do. I will just quickly change this color, change the tint to 100%. Make the text inside. It's just for demonstration purpose. I wanted to change the color of the text. I will come to Windows, colors, and swatches so that I could get this. I hope you can still remember that. But my focus is on this rectangle that I've drawn before, this rectangle. All right. That's what I wanted to focus on. We could give it, this is just flat. We could make it even better. And how do we do that? We could give it corner round. And InDesign has corner round options. You simply go to your object menu and say corner options. Corner options. When you click on that, watch what happens. Now, I always click on preview so that I can see what's going on. You could change the options of your corner round. And these are the options that are available. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. This is the very popular one. If I click on it, did you notice? You could adjust it here. All right. Now, the reason the 4 sides are affected at once is because this chain is checked. Do not forget, once you check this chain, all the 4 sides will be affected. All right. So I will go back and then change it. I'm sure some of us already like that. You could change it to this. I mean, just feel free to explore all the options and know what works for you. Let's assume I don't want to apply the same design to the four corners. I simply unlock this and then choose something different for example, this place. Did you notice we have something different? So I wanted to show you another way to get this round corner done without going to your object menu corner options. And that is very simple. Now, if you look to the top right of this shape, you will notice like a tiny yellow dot. All you need to do is click on that yellow dot once, and then the corner option is being taken by the four corners of your shape. You could see we have it right here too. So you could pick any one of them and then you click and drag. Once you release your mouse, you'll notice you click and drag. Now my second question is very simple. What if I want to apply, because that is applicable to all the four corners, what if I want to apply to just one of the corners? Just hold down your shift and click on the yellow and then drag. Only that part will be affected. You hold down your shift and drag, only that part will be affected. I hope we're following. The other cool thing to note is that round corners could also be applicable to simple shapes too. For example, if I come here and I just draw like a part, like so, something like that, and I get back to object and say corners, you notice we only have one part and not four corners now. I could change it to anyone. Did you see that? I could change it to this guy. Interesting. I could change it to this guy. If I click OK, you could see that it has now been changed to, instead of having those smooth lines, you have it curvy edges because we use corner options. I hope we're following. Permit me to show you one more interesting thing that I feel that you will like. I'll just switch to a new file and then press my T for text and then just create like a text frame. And then okay, let me remove this one and just make it only pixels. Say I'm pixels. I wanted to convert to outline, like something that we do in CorelDRAW, we will say convert to curves. Once you convert the text to outline, you can no longer edit it. It will be like how do I describe it now? Maybe like as if you have drawn like a box or a circle, ellipse, rectangle. And how do we convert to outline? Go to your text menu, say convert, create outline, or you press Ctrl Shift O as Command Shift O on Mac. Now check out this. Do you remember something they call like power clip when you placed a picture inside the text? We do it in Photoshop, Illustrator, CorelDRAW, and we could do the same thing in InDesign. You click on the text. Don't forget that this is now an outline. I mean, if you notice that you look at the properties now, it's not showing font options again. All right, so I say Ctrl D, which is place command, and then go to a picture or a folder that contains your picture. Let me just select this. I'll just double click, and that's it. It's inside. And don't forget that we have these options too. You remember these options? We have this. So I'll just keep it at the first one. I hope you have been able to learn one or two things in this class. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so when I upload new videos, you'll be notified. Thank you. See you in the next video.